What's going on, people? Hope everyone's feeling blessed, everyone's feeling calm, despite all the madness that's going on. Today, I'm gonna read through a little bit of a text concerning the relationship a son should have towards his father. Okay, if you missed the episodes that I did on the relationship between father and son, check that out on my channel. It's also available. Give me some feedback. Now check this out. It says, a tree does not tear out its own roots, nor does it denounce the soil. Neither does a man strike his own father. He who turns on his father in anger cuts his heart in two. Be guided by excuse me. Be guided by the instructions of your father and obey the words of your mother. And the day will come when you will be respected among the people. If they have a responsibility to instruct, then you have a responsibility to obey. You see that? This is talking to the son, right? Be grateful to your father who brought you into the congress of men with thanksgiving, and to your mother who conceived you as an offering to love and sustained you in your helplessness. Listen to the instructions of your father, for they are given exclusively for your own welfare and good. Obey him at all times, for what he desires of you is bent on your own welfare. Okay? On your own benefit. Resent not his abominations, for they come from a heart filled with affection for you. He has made sacrifices for your welfare and labored to provide for your upbringing. He guided your steps when you first stood upright, and his arms shielded you from hurt in the days of your helplessness. Therefore, honor him in his older age and protect his gray hairs from insult and indifference. You are his pride and joy. Deny him not a share in your achievements. Okay, this is actually talking about the father, right? The relationship of a father. How should you perceive your father? Okay, and it continues. Where did I stop? Remember how he shared your youthful problems and toiled so you might sleep securely from the shadow of want. Therefore, indulge his infirmities of his old age and guide him in his declining years. Your own sons observe your ways towards him and record them in their hearts. Permit your father to pass to his permanent abode in peace and contentment. Respect his old age and the dignity and beauty of the grey beard. Thus you will set an example to your own sons, and in the years ahead you will not go unrewarded. Strive to reflect credit on your father and on your mother, and if you fail in this, then bring gladness to their hearts and contentment to their spirits. Even a weakling will be fooled by them, though he repays their affection with sorrow and care. He who fathers a weakling is a father of war. Let not man mock your father because of you. What has he done that you punish him in this manner? Why fashion arrows that pierce the heart of your mother? What have they done? They gave you bread, and you repay them with a stone? Why be indifferent to your father's welfare? Was he a weakling? Watch over him always. When strife knocks on his door, hasten to his side. Remember who trained your right arm, would you now deny him a share of your success? If your father be beset with trouble, give your eye for him, and be honored among the noble ones. You see? Now, when we go back to the beginning of this text, it was talking about how the tree does not tear out its own roots. Oh, that's powerful right there. You see, because from a child's perspective, your father is the root. Your parents are the root. So how could you tear them out? So you have to, in a way, honor them always. And it says, a tree does not tear out its own roots, nor does it denounce the soil. Wow. Neither does a man strike his own father. Okay? And it says, if they have a responsibility to instruct, then you have a responsibility to obey. You see? Because the example they set is for you to follow. This example must be a good example. If they lead you down a wrong direction as a child, then the blame is going to be on their instruction. The instruction was not adequate, so they can't blame anybody else but the parent. So this is why it's important that as a child we hear what our parents are saying, but also follow the good example and not the bad. And it says, be grateful to your father who brought you into the congress of men with pride and thanksgiving, and to your mother who conceived you as an offering to love and sustained you in your helplessness. See that? So it's almost like there's almost like a debt to be paid. Almost you can never really truly pay it back until you have kids of your own and you start beginning to put in practice what you've been shown from your forefathers and your foremothers. Okay? And it says it, obey him at all times, for what he desires of you is bent on your own benefit. You see, some of the lessons you might not understand as a child straight away. You might only get it once you start going, living by yourself and all of these things, and having kids of your own. Then the lesson starts coming in. The message is much clearer now because you're seeing exactly what your parents were talking about. This is why it's important to obey them at all times. Resent not his abominations, for they come from a heart filled with affection for you. Okay? It says here, honor him in his old age and protect his grey hairs from insult and indifference. You see? Your own sons observe your ways towards him and record them in their hearts. This is why it's important that you lead by a good example, not just, through words alone. It says here, respect his old age and dignity of the beauty of the grey beard. Thus you set an example to your own sons, and in the years ahead you will not go unrewarded. Strive to reflect credit on your father and your mother. You see? Let not men mock your father because of you. You see? There's not really, unless it's like when you're a child, when you've got a relationship between parents and children. It's like a contract, a lifetime contract that comes with terms and conditions. And of course, some of these terms and conditions might be broken along the way, but it doesn't mean the whole contract has to be terminated. That is a contract that you cannot terminate. In fact, you can't find another mother and say that's my mum. You can't find another father and start calling them dad, because the qualities your biological father will give you and your biological mother is far greater than anybody else, basically. This is why it's important to always honor them and not let men mock them because of you. You see, because it's not. It says here, what has he done that you punish him in this way? Why fashion arrows that pierce the heart of your mother? You see, the relationship is too strong for you to ever be, for it to be broken up by little, I guess, little breaches within the contract. This is a lifetime contract. And it says, when strife knocks on his door, hasten to his side. Okay? If your father be beset with trouble, give your eye for him, and be honored among the nobles. You see, and this is what we must do as children of the Most High, that we honor our parents in order to reflect a positive, a noble noble position moving forward. Because you cannot teach things like honor, respect through just words alone. You have to show, you have to take action. And showing honor and respect to your parents is one of the greatest things you could do. So it's very important that we follow these things and return to these morals, these good morals and good principles to keep. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the talk. I'm gonna be doing a lot more. This episode is just breaking down the father